What kind of impact did Nick Saban have on your career, and what's Alabama football going to look like after Nick Saban?
Alabama's still Alabama football. I've been to their practices, still fast, physical, high intensity. And the impact that Saban had on me, he developed me and everybody else into great young men on and off the field. Two things that he taught me that I just picked up naturally through him was if you want to be great or you want to be the best, you have to be consistent and disciplined. If you want to be a leader, you have to hold people accountable, and if you want to be liked, sell ice cream. So those are things that I took from him. And one thing that I always look at, I went to state high school. High school I was winning state. Won state I think like 12 times or 14 times since they were around. Then ended up going to IMG and then Alabama. And one thing that I learned from him when he said it just made so much sense. When a student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear. And that just stood out so much to me that naturally through my life, just meeting a guy like Coach Callahan and, I'm ready for the next phase of my life, and I've always felt that way, to now meeting him and going over so much stuff, and that 30-minute conversation turned into 2 hours, the teacher appeared. So.
JC Latham, student to Alabama athlete.
Kids in Detroit. What's your message? What's up, brother? What's your message for those kids to inspire them tonight?
Yeah, just keep going and just be consistent and just never give up. It's gonna be rainy days, it's gonna be tough days, but adversity is what makes you, and never compare yourself to anybody else. Comparison is the killer of joy. Your situation is different from somebody else. So you look at Joe Altman at 5. You look at our two situations completely different. So you never can just try to compare yourself to anybody. You just always focus on you and yourself.
What was it like? Alabama student to Alabama athlete, first off, roll tide.
Yeah,
you just got picked to a team that's going through a bit of a rebuilding process, and you've gone through the rebuilding process before. So how do you plan on to continue to just get through that process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the things that the coaches stated over there was the process is you got to weed out all the guys who kind of want it, and the toxic people of the program to keep the integrity of the team beneficial to everybody else. And then you guys just build from the ground up, have a solid foundation of what your principles and morals are, and then from that standpoint, you just want to keep building up from there. It might happen in the first year. You might be everything that you wanted to be. It might take a couple years. But just never give up. As I told everybody else, just be consistent and disciplined. And success is when preparation meets opportunity.
What was it like to go against Dallas Turner in practice?
Yeah, I love that, man. That's my guy. I'm not in college no more, so I can say we had bets, $20 bets on every rep. So I won a majority of them, but. Yeah, that's my guy. Just going against him every single day. He made me better, and I made him better, and iron sharpens iron. So.
JC, can you talk about your time at IMG and then your time at Alabama? Just the standard of excellence that's been around you your whole career.
Yeah, my time at IMG, it meant a lot to me, especially going through that phase of, anybody in this room. When you were 15 years old, if you went to a boarding school in Florida, without your parents, everybody knows how to get. So, homework and school and all that stuff, you got to keep that priorities in check. But it gets kind of hard, and that's when I have to learn that being an adult is handling your priorities and responsibilities. And then once I finally felt like I had a grasp on that, the guys got hurt, and I had to make a switch from D-line, something that I played my whole life, to O-line, something that I've never played before, really. And at a time where I had 20 offers to now I got to kind of play offensive line. I don't know if I have those offers anymore. So it taught me how to grow up, and taught me how to mature, and just be consistent and be persistent at the same time. And Alabama was just the college version of IMG, the cream of the crop, and it's going to weed out all the people who aren't made for it. And if you're made for it, you're going to strive every single day.
What were your initial thoughts being selected by the Tennessee Titans?
Say again?
What was your initial thought after being selected by the Tennessee Titans?
Let's get to work. I'm ready for it, man. I talked to all the coaching staffs on every visit I've been on the turnaround that is going to be, and all of them say, you're going to have your rookie mini camp coming up, and that's the main thing I'm focused on. So I appreciate the opportunity, but.
Who do you attribute your success to and why?
My main success is George Hagerman. He was one of the guys who just stayed my mentor. UJ, he's at Alabama now. All the youth league coaches that I've had who, coached me up and taught discipline in me. Mom, dad, stepmom, they were always in my corner since I was a little kid and never gave up on me. and then my best friends and siblings. You know, like I just had a great support group around me, and group of people who just never gave up on me, no matter how hard things got.
Take one more question.
One of the first things that pops out on your film is just your ability to run block. What do you think makes you a dominant run blocker?
Yeah, I mean, someone told me one time I messed up on a run block once, and you know, he told me, he was like, yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, your technique may have been bad, but at the end of the day, run block is just all about attitude. You know, you bench, God knows what, and squat, you know, over 1,000 pounds. So, you know, a kid should never be able to, you know, even have a chance on you. You know, and that kind of mindset elevated me to understand, like, hey, like, I am one of the strongest cats on the field, and this is a mindset thing. Like, you know, it doesn't take the strongest guy to make the play every single time, but I happen to be the strongest, so I need to make every single play.
Thank you.
Congratulations.